We're here today in Skövde in Sweden, where Microsoft are collaborating with the university on something called Game Camp Sweden, a fairly unique thing that's going on. Can you explain a little bit about your role in this and Microsoft's role in this project?
My particular role, they asked me to come and give a talk about some of the features of Xbox One and some of the things you could do with it. That is the reason that I'm here. I'm a programmer over there. I'm a technical person. Microsoft's role is we're one of the sponsors of the Game Camp, along with Unity. And yeah, they asked me to come and give some information about Xbox, and that's why I'm here.
Is it a little bit about sort of opening up things for more developers to be able to go into this without the sort of the big threshold of console development that's sort of a little bit scary, perhaps, especially when you're just a game student?
Right. So one of the problems that we had on 360 was how do you get your games actually developed and published on the 360. We had for independent developers, independent studios, we had essentially Microsoft indie games, XNA indie games,
yeah.
And with Xbox One, we wanted a much better program, and we're going with something called the ID at Xbox program, and that is intended to allow individuals or individual small studios to self-publish, and the students here at this university are getting access to some of the features that those developers will have access to.
Mm. So, I mean, from the outside, and of course this is always something that is true with these kind of things, it's like we're not told about these things until they're very close to completion. Mm-hmm. ID at Xbox, I presume, is one of those initiatives that you've been working on for a while in the back. But it feels a little bit like you're playing catch up now. You were the leaders on Xbox Live Arcade, really opening up the sort of the console space to these smaller, brilliant ideas. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're catching up now that you're playing catch up a little bit to maybe Steam and even PlayStation?
I don't know if I would classify us as playing catch up or anything like that. We are focused on making sure that we have the best individual developer and individual studios program available, whether that is for Xbox, for Windows Phone. And that's one of the things that we strive for. We want our program, we want everyone to be able to come to our program and say, yes, we want to publish the games, self-publish the games through your platforms, and we're striving to ensure that ID at Xbox program for the consoles is that program for everyone.
So from your perspective, I guess it's a little bit more scary to have a lot of self-publishing companies on a platform, because it sort of asks more of that platform. It has to be perhaps more stable, more easy to work with, and things like that. Is that true as well from your perspective?
From my perspective, from my personal perspective, having more titles available, more people available to actually make games is nothing but goodness, because the best games are always going to be the things that no one realized was coming. No one realized Minecraft was going to be the next big thing. Mm. The Goat Simulator game that just came out. Like these are things that the AAA game studios are hesitant to make because they are somewhat more risky. So a lot of new IP comes from the indies, and I don't think it's personally scary at all. I'm excited to see what the indie developers can do with the platform.
Mm. So now the Xbox One is out, not particularly here in Sweden. We're still waiting on it here. But what have you sort of what do you feel about the platform now? You had to make some last minute changes, but where do you feel it's at the moment?
That's not really my position to say. Right now, we're here to talk about the ID at Xbox program and this particular program with the students here at. I can't say the name of this town, so.
Skövde.
Yes, there we go. So that's where I'm focused at right now.
So what's next for? I mean, I think you have something like 1,000 developers. Is that an accurate count? I mean, you got a lot of kits out there.
So we have. I don't know how many developers we have. I can't give you a number there. We have quite a few people who signed up for the ID at Xbox program. Definitely in the thousands. I don't know how many thousands. And when the program was initially announced, it was still before the console had even shipped. So there was definitely a hardware problem there because we didn't have any dev kits because the console hadn't shipped yet. So it was initially very limited in the number of people that were actually accepted and actually got the kits. But as the console has been released and hardware is becoming more available, that is expanding. I don't know how many we have right now, but it's getting larger, and we've had our first game actually came out this week, I think on Tuesday, and our next one is coming out, I think 2 weeks from now, and I expect it to just have a steady release, a steady cadence.
Was there? I don't know if this is true or not. Was there an idea that every Xbox One could be turned into a dev kit? Was that idea around, or are you working on that?
I'm personally not working on it. I know that we have announced things in that vein, but I don't have any information on that.
Because that would really sort of democratize the space for anyone to sort of get their hands dirty on it.
I'm sure if we have announcements in that regard that people would make those.
So what do you feel is the most exciting thing about ID at Xbox and what it offers? What are you most excited about that will come out now?
For me personally, the thing that I'm most excited about is just the wide range of games that are potentially there. Like I gave the example earlier, the Goat Simulator one. Like no one saw that coming, but extremely popular. And one of the things that I said in the talk that I gave earlier was, like, I believe the actual best killer Kinect app is going to come from this type of program, because once you expand the audience of potential people making their products much larger, the ideas that come to fruition are just much more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you can only look at the original Kinect and what the sort of modders and people working on PC were able to do as you sort of allow them to do that, and that there's just so much creativity that you perhaps didn't see in commercial releases.
Right, and I think that's going to run the gamut for all the features that we have on the Xbox, and just as a general statement on games, the thing that I am definitely most excited about is the potential for the games that are coming, and I was not aware of all the game companies that started in Sweden, so having this type of program starting here, where we've had all these great games coming out, I think is just going to be nothing but goodness.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.